Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. And today we're going to talk about, let's say one of my love languages, clothes. So I brought Allison Lumbatis on, and she is the founder of Get Your Pretty On, and her new book, The Ultimate Book of Outfit Formulas, is out. So congratulations.
Thank you
number
so
one
much.
on the book. And
Thank
number
you.
two, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we're chatting about clothes, fashion, because it's something that a lot of people, they'll spend money on. Some people don't feel like they have a big budget to spend money on. And so it's always this like hard give and take, right,
Yes.
of our money and our clothes. Do you find that a lot, that tension with a lot of people?
Absolutely, yes. And I think that a lot of it is us just giving ourselves permission to buy, as moms especially, just permission to take a little bit of the family budget.
Yes.
And say, this is reserved for me, and I'm going to go ahead and get some clothes that make me feel amazing.
Yes. Oh, it is true, because how you feel represents so much of your life, right? I mean,
does.
there's an element of that is so true. So people watching, they say, okay, Allison, that's great, but our family budget is like, we don't have a lot.
Yes.
What are some tips that people can work with when they go into their closets? Like, what can you say to help them get that formula, that outfit formula, right, that your book's about? How can they do that with what's just in their closet now?
Well, I have a trick I'm going to share with you, but first off, I'm going to say that most of us actually have more functional wardrobes than we even realize. I mean, I think it's that old adage, I have a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
totally.
so-
Yes.
Completely unpopular opinion. I'm going to just acknowledge that right now, but you've got to clean your closet out. And you have to know what you have to know what you need, because most of us only wear 20% of what's in our closet at any given time.
I hate to say, Allison, I think that's probably true.
It
for
is.
me. Because you go back to the same pieces,
You
because
do.
you're like, this is what I love.
Yes.
Okay, that's a great
And
point.
if you take everything else out, then, you know, that decision fatigue of walking in there and seeing everything all at once is taken away. You see your 20%, and then you can truly assess, take an inventory, and know, what do I need? What gaps do I need to fill in my wardrobe? And then you're armed with that list of things when you walk into the store. You're not overwhelmed. You're not going to make those impulse buys. But many of us don't even have to buy anything. If you do this and you have that 20%, you can look at those pieces and say, are there any classic basic items in here? Things that I can pair up in multiple ways, things that I can wear over and over. And here's the trick. So if you have a favorite pair of jeans, which most of us do.
Yes.
So we're going to start with anything on our lower half. There's 5 variables of an outfit formula. Your bottoms.
Okay.
Your tops.
Okay.
Yes. Your toppers, which are going to be your jackets.
The
Yes,
layer.
I did it.
I've-
Yes,
I've learned
yes,
about
yes.
this, yes.
Your shoes and your
Yes.
accessories.
Yes. Okay.
So I recommend starting with your bottoms, with your
Yes.
favorite pair of jeans, and then start pairing them up with multiple items in your closet. So you're going to pull out a top, then add a topper, then add some shoes, and then you can add the accessories if you want to now, or you can wait till later.
Yeah.
But when you have that pairing, take your phone, snap a pic of it, and then move on to the next pairing with that same pair of pants, and keep doing this until you've exhausted options in your closet. And what this is going to do is, number one, it's going to show you have multiple ways of pairing up what you already have. And number two, you're going to have all those pictures on your phone, and you can pull it up in the morning, walk in your closet, and know exactly what you're wearing every day.
Feels like Clueless. That maybe
Yes.
came out when I was like middle school or whatever,
It's like
you know, and
that,
she
yeah.
had her screen or her computer, and you're like, yes, this is it. I can just mix and
I
match.
want that.
Okay, so I want to go back to what you said at the beginning, because I think this is really important. So the minimalists, they're some of my favorite guests that I have on the show, because that idea of just limiting that, it's that fatigue. You're putting extra energy into something in your life that is unnecessary. You can actually remove things. It feels like a weight is lifted off, because you're like, if there's been, and I'm guilty of this. I have probably 2 things. I should have brought them just to prove the point. But I have 2 things in my closet right now I can think about that are probably 11 years old. And the word tired, I've heard, oh, it's tired. Yeah, they're tired.
Yeah.
But I remembered when I bought them, and they were expensive at the time, and I spent I remember it was like this like big deal, and I'm like, I just can't let it go. I haven't worn it in years and years. So like, it's stuff like that for me that I know is there, and I'm like, Rachel, just get rid of it. Just stop. It's fine. Why are you hanging on to it? Because when I walk in, I can actually see, okay, here's what I actually like, and put your energy towards those things versus the things that you're just trying to weed out.
Definitely. And I think a lot of us have emotional baggage around the things in our closets. They either represent a time in our lives where we, you know, it was a different memory or a different time or a different size or whatever, and we keep all of that stuff in there, but it's really not serving us in our everyday life. And it's okay if you want to keep it. Just take
Sure.
it out, stash it somewhere else.
Yep.
You don't have to, you know, keep it in your closet. That's the point, is just have those few pieces in there that you're wearing, and then that's all you're wearing anyway. Let's be honest.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all you're wearing anyway.
It's so true. It's so true. Okay, so people that actually have a little bit of money to spend when it comes to clothes, like, okay, I want to like go about this, but do it in a wise way. Something that, again, you're not just filling your closet with a bunch of stuff you will never wear. what are some tips for that? Like when you go shopping, what are some things? Okay, I have the money. Like, how can I do this wisely?
So I love to calculate a cost per wear basis on everything that I buy.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example of this. A few years back, I was buying a handbag every season. I wanted like, oh, I want this cute purse because it's this color or it's this this new seasonal trend or whatever. And I was doing that like 4 times a year, and I would carry it for 3 months, get sick of it, move on. And so I sat down and I thought, well, if I invested in a higher quality bag that I was going to carry over the course of, say, 2 years, calculate out that cost per use basis on that bag, it was actually a better value than those seasonal bags that I wasn't really spending a whole lot of money on.
Yeah.
So I really love to do this exercise with so many things that I buy. Handbags are a great investment. Don't confuse name brands with quality because it's not always synonymous. So you can get a great leather tote that's going to hold up for a long time.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a name brand, but just look for good quality. Outerwear is another place that you can absolutely spend money because these are things, your coats you're going to wear season after season, year after year. You're going to get a lot of use out of those on a cost per wear basis. Another place that you're going to want to put your money is shoes.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes. Good shoes.
Shoes is the love language.
Yes.
So yeah, invest in good quality shoes too that are going to hold up, that are going to be comfortable, stand the test of time, that you're going to wear for probably a few years.
Yes.
Knits are another good place to invest. Nobody likes a cheap, scratchy sweater.
Yes.
Nobody likes that. But yeah, a good quality knit is going to hold up really, really well, and it's going to be a nice, comfortable fabric too. And then I always put jeans on this list, but jeans aren't necessarily something you have to invest a lot of money in because denim quality and cost are not always correlated with denim. You can find nice quality jeans that may not be all that expensive, but the place you're going to want to invest is buy multiple washes in that jean. If you find a pair of jeans that fits you perfectly, go ahead and buy all the washes in those jeans. You will thank yourself later.
Yes, because you know it fits. And
Yes.
you know it's great. You're like, oh,
Exactly.
I love it. Okay, so those are great things to splurge on. But you're like, yes, my investment pieces. Now, what are things that you're like, nope, don't splurge on it. But if you have a little cash, it's fun just to buy that you can change out kind of season to season.
Hands down, accessories. Accessories, they're like the spice on the outfit,
Yes.
And they really just refresh our basics. You can buy some new seasonal trends, accessories every single season, and it's not gonna break the bank. And it's just a quick and easy way that you can just add a little bit of something to your outfits. So that's a great area. Another one is the seasonal trends. So the things that aren't gonna stay in style year after year, season after season, take a little bit of money and add a new color to your wardrobe, add a new pattern or a new style, something that may not have that longevity, but you're not going to feel like, you're wasting money because it's not going to be that expensive, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right. And there's certain stores that lend to that, right? That are more inexpensive. That you're like, okay, these are super trendy.
Yes.
And I can go in, I'm thinking about like your H&Ms or your, you know what I mean? Like things like that you're like, yeah, I'm not going to spend a ton on. But I can go and just spend a little bit and get something kind of fun. But if it goes away next year, it's not the end of the world.
No big deal. Exactly. And sometimes those trends stay in style longer. And if they do, then that's a good opportunity for you to upgrade the trend. A few years back, I bought a pair of leopard flats. And I was like, oh, leopard's having a moment right now. And then leopard has continued having a moment. So I wore out those flats. And I invested in a better quality pair of leopard flats that have held up for the past, 3 to 4 years. So it's okay to upgrade that trend later on if it sticks around.
Okay, that's so good. Back to the shoes, right?
Yes.
Always
Always.
the shoes, Allison. Always the shoes. Okay, what are like just some do's and don'ts of clothes when you look at people and you're like, oh, don't do that. And then some you're like, yes, keep doing that. Like the layering. I love someone do that.
Layering is amazing.
Yes, like years ago, it makes everything look that much better.
It really does. It's called the
amazing.
completer piece when you add that third item on. So the third
Yes.
item is the completer piece. And I know if you live in a hot climate, it's a little bit hard to do that.
Yes.
I live in Texas, so I love when I can wear my blazers and jackets and it just feels like I'm wearing a complete outfit. But really, I think that the biggest thing that women need to focus on is finding pieces that fit and flatter your body. Honestly, that is the key. It's the trick. It's a little bit difficult to figure out, but once you look at your body shape and then look at the pieces that are specifically going to fit and flatter your shape, it just opens up this whole new world of possibility.
Of everything.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go through a couple of body shapes while I'm thinking about it. Okay, so if someone is like more of the pear-shaped, like I think of like what are ideal for that body type?
I'm a pear.
Okay, yes, yes.
Yes, so with pear shapes, obviously we're going to want to accentuate, we have narrow waists.
Yes.
And typically we have wider hips. So I try to, I wear high waist jeans, things are going to hit at my natural waist. You're also going to want with a pear shape because you're usually bigger on bottom than on top. do something that's going to balance out your proportions. So
Okay.
across the top, horizontal stripes are always a good idea. Anything that's going to make your shoulders feel broader, seem broader.
Okay.
Anything that's going to draw the eye up. So think V-necks that are going to draw the eye up to the face. Statement necklaces also draw the eye up, as do statement earrings.
Yes.
So there's these little tips and tricks to kind of like balance the proportions visually,
Yes.
where it's not really, where you're having to think too hard about it, but just accentuating the right spots and drawing the eye to the right areas.
I love that. Okay, how about someone shorter and more just petite?
Yes.
Like my sister and my mom, this is how they are built. And Denise, my sister's always like complaining because she's like, oh, I can't wear like certain jeans, right? They cut in a certain spot or like it just looks, and she's like, oh, it just never looks that good. I'm like, yeah, but it could. I don't know. But like, what are some tips for shorter, more petite people?
It's always about elongating if you're a petite.
Yes.
You're going to want to do things like monochromatic tones, wearing darker colors from your waist down, like all the way through your shoes if you're able to. Not wearing jeans that cut you off too high on the leg. So
That's what we were talking about.
jeans,
Yes,
those
yes.
are typically off limits. You're going to want to look for the longer pants, anything that's going to create a longer silhouette. Petite ladies look amazing in a bootcut jean with a heel under it because that's going to instantly make the legs look a mile long.
Go up. Okay. How about more like the rectangle body shape, right? Not a lot of curves, just kind of that straight rectangle look.
Again, it's going to be about creating the illusion, right? So with a rectangle body shape, you're going to want to create the illusion that you have the waist, that you nip in. So this is a great body shape for wearing a little thin belt around your waist, belting even your cardigans, your dresses. The great thing about rectangles is that they generally are proportionate between their shoulders and hips, so they can get away with a lot of different styles.
Yeah.
They can wear the nice sheath dresses and the straight pants and all of those things, but really going to just be about accentuating that waist and creating the illusion of having that little bit of an hourglass curve.
Yes. I love that because, again, when you're going to invest in something like clothes, right, that we're talking about, it's like, yeah, then you want something that's going to fit you and it's going to make you just feel wonderful. Okay. What are some don'ts?
Some don'ts. So I am a rebel when it comes to fashion rules.
Okay. I love
So
it.
let's talk about fashion rules a little bit.
Yes.
The whole wear white after Labor Day. We can all do that. Like we can definitely do that. I wear white jeans year round now,
Yes.
but I think the biggest question I get asked, honestly, in the space of what are some do's and don'ts with fashion rules, a lot of women come to me and say, I don't know what's age appropriate anymore.
Oh, it's good. Yep.
Yes, and my rule with this is a little bit different, but I like to say don't dress in what feels age appropriate, dress in what feels you appropriate, meaning does it make you feel stylish? Does it make you feel more confident? Does it fit and flatter your body? You can ask yourself these questions, and the selfie never lies. So if you ever this works for anything. If you're ever curious, does this work for me? Take the selfie, look at the picture, and you should be able to tell from that picture. And if not, then send it to a friend that's going to be direct and brutally honest with you, and
There
she
you
will
go.
tell you.
That's it. That's good. That's good.
Yes.
I know that's what's so hard about now. I'm like, I'll see different trends, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that just for a bunch of 16-year-olds? Like, I don't know. I'm a mom of 3. I don't know if that's okay or not. But that's good. Yeah, it's just like whatever works for you, and I think that's a great rule. Okay, gosh, this is all so good. It is, because when we talk about budgeting, specifically clothing, is always in that line item. And so whether you're buying for your kids or buying for yourself, which I think is an important part of this, to actually like feel great. Yeah, you just want to be wise with the money that you have. So these are great tips.
Absolutely.
So good to help the money, help the dollar go further.
Yes.
In the closet. I love it. Allison, thank you so much for being
you,
here. And where
Rachel.
can everyone find you?
Everyone can find me at getyourprettyon.com.
Getyourprettyon.com. And the book is sold
Everywhere,
you guys. Okay, make sure to pick it up. Again, I love these kind of topics because I'm like, every day, everyone's got to get dressed. You got to put clothes on. So figure out what works for you, what you feel great in. And again, that's going to help support your budgets. So great. Allison, thanks again.
Thanks, Rachel.